Hey everyone, how you doing? My good friend Evan Brown recently posted a video kind of going through his whole home studio setup, and it got me thinking that with all this downtime that we have, that we should all maybe put up some videos of our home studio setups. I know I love talking about gear, and I just love gear, so I thought I'd take this opportunity to walk you through my home studio setup, and you should also, if you have a home studio, maybe post a video of yours so we can all, have a conversation about gear, about recording, and about audio, and that'd be super cool. So without further ado, here we go. So up first here, at the heart of my studio setup, I have my PreSonus Studio 1824 audio interface. This thing is awesome, and it has been my favorite interface I've ever used so far. I've worked with the Focusrite 2i2s and the Focusrite 1824s, and this is by far my favorite interface I've ever used. It's worked great for me for the past 6 months. I got it used, and it's been awesome. Powering my interface over here is my PC. I built this PC last year. It has an AMD Ryzen 7 3700X CPU in it. That is 8-core, 16-thread, base clock at 4.2. And I have 32 gigs of RAM in there, clocked at 3200 megahertz. This thing has been awesome for recording and has handled just about any task I've thrown at it. So definitely Team Windows for me all the way. Hooked up to my computer, I have two monitors here. The one on the bottom you see is an Acer monitor. It's a 34-inch ultra-wide monitor at 1440p. It is a VA panel, and it has a slight curve to it. This thing has been so cool to record on. The really wide display is really cool for projects, as you can see. You can really get a glimpse of like the whole picture of your project. And up top, I have a 24-inch, another VA panel. This is also an Acer at 1080p. And this has been great to put my mix window up on so that I can just glance up at any time and adjust anything in my mix or in my plugins, stuff like that. Hooked up to my interface, I have two PreSonus Aris 3.5 monitors. These guys are pretty small, and I'd like to upgrade to some Aris 5s here soon, but they've been great reference monitors to get me started with. Also on the audio end, I have my trusty AKG K240s, which have been awesome headphones just for a reference. Now, this little box here on top of my interface, that is my 2Notes Torpedo Captor. It's 16 ohms. This is my guitar load box. Lately, in the past year, since my apartment isn't conducive to playing drums, I've been playing a lot of guitar. And I run this PRS MT15 amp, it's a tube amp, straight into that load box so I can record directly into my interface. This guy here has been the newest addition to my studio, along with this amp, and they've been doing an awesome job so far. For MIDI, I use this Arturia Minilab MK2 MIDI controller. This thing has been awesome and is ridiculously portable. The pads on it feel great, the keys on it feel great, and the functionality in Studio One has been great. Which brings me to my DAW. I can't believe I didn't talk about it at the monitors. I use PreSonus Studio One. I've been using it for about 8 months. I used Reaper for the longest time, and ever since switching to Studio One, my mixes and my recording workflow has just gotten so much better. I really love Studio One, and I don't see myself turning from it at any point. And then lastly, I guess, I have another piano here that sometimes I use for MIDI for some extended range stuff. This is a Yamaha DG630X, I think, DGX630. And it's not great for a MIDI controller, but every once in a while when I want to record something and not mess with the octaves so much, I'll plug this in via USB and it does the job good enough. Otherwise, I just use this for piano practice. And even though this is a studio video, I mentioned I play a lot of guitar recently, so real quick, I'm missing one guitar in the rack there, but I have my PRS SE Torero there in the red. And then I have my Strandberg Bowden 6. That is my baby. I love that guitar. And then I have my Yamaha electric acoustic there. I think that's an APX 500. And I'm missing a Fender Telecaster. I have an awesome guitar lineup right now, and I've been having so much fun playing guitar this year. And then last two things. For mics for Discord calls and conference calls and meetings, and even some vocal recording, I have an MXL 990 here on my cheap Amazon swivel arm with a cheap Amazon filter on it. This mic is surprisingly great for its price point. I didn't know what I was getting into buying like a $70-$80 mic, but it's been actually pretty good, and I've used it for some vocal recording even, and it does a decent job. And then last but not least, I have here my Logitech. I forget the model number of it. It's a 1080p 30 FPS webcam. I use that for calls, and now with the current state of education for recording all of my lessons. Once again, that's my home studio setup, and if you have a home studio setup, I would totally love to see yours too. I would love this to be a thing of people just recording their home studio setups right now, since we have so much downtime here in March of 2020. So, thanks for watching. See you later.